Hello, everybody. Welcome to Also Rusty Buckets. I can't keep doing the intros where I talk about what happened to me today because not every day do I do anything interesting. Today, I played some Call of Duty Zombies, watched some BoJack Horseman with my family. Yeah, I think that might actually be it. So I was supposed to intro this with "Hello, everybody. Welcome to I watched BoJack Horseman today." Anyways, real quick before this video starts, channel just hit 15K, but ironically, I've already gotten to the point where I do the intro where I say about half of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed. So if you are not subscribed to this channel already, then please be sure to do that. It really helps me out with my ego, and it helps you watch these videos when they come out. Also, drop a like on this video. Really means the world, really makes a big difference on the video. With that out of the way, today was an interesting day for me watching NBA games. So I actually kind of want to address something right out of the gate. Well, first of all, the title of this video, I had to do it. If you don't know, it's a parody of, you probably do know. It's a parody of Mike Korzemba's title on Lonzo Ball. Josh Jackson obviously had a great game. We'll talk about that in a second. But I want to kind of make the disclaimer, and I'm probably going to make this a disclaimer from now on. I'm only talking about games and even sections of games that I have watched, because today specifically, I only watched probably 30% of most of the games that I watched today. But I'm not going to, someone was mad at me because I didn't talk about LaMelo's 37 the other day. I didn't watch that game. I wish I did, because LaMelo played awesome, but I cannot watch every single game. I realize there are some people that put up 15 screens, but my brain cannot comprehend that, and I have other shit to do in my day, so I can't record it and just watch every single NBA game that happens every day. I wish I could, because I fucking love basketball, but I'm one man. So if I don't talk about a game, it means I didn't watch the game. If I don't talk about a performance, it means I didn't watch the performance. It is what it is. So let's first talk about this Lakers versus Pistons game, because that's the one that is a big deal today. It just finished. So I only watched, technically the game was on the whole time, but I was playing Call of Duty Zombies because there was a new map. So I was not paying attention for the first 3 quarters. I paid a decent more attention in the third quarter than the first two, but for the most part, this game was kind of, the Lakers had a decent margin of lead, although it was a situation where the Lakers got a lead and then it kind of just stayed at that point differential for multiple minutes, multiple quarters even. And then in the fourth quarter, the Lakers went pretty cold. The Pistons got pretty hot, and Josh Jackson specifically got pretty hot, and they ended up pushing this game into overtime, and then eventually a double overtime. Josh Jackson, he's the main talking point here in this video. So he had 21 in the second half and 28 in the game in total, and I think 4 of those points came in overtime as well. So Josh Jackson was just awesome, and I thought about titling this "The Josh Jackson Redemption Arc is Here," because Josh has been really good for the Pistons this year. But the Korzemba title, I had to do it. After that, I do have some notes about the Pistons, and I'm going to talk about the Lakers a bit because I got some shit for not talking about the Lakers enough. But for my first note of this game was the Lakers are better than the Pistons. Captain fucking obvious. I don't know that he had that great of a game, but I did write I'm going to be a Sadiq Bey stan soon. There's actually a lot of players on this Pistons team that I really like. Sadiq Bey is a player I think has potential to be a really good role player. Jeremy Grant is your god. I put that in my notes. That speaks for itself. Although this game itself, it wasn't as amazing for Grant as he's had others. He had a poster dunk, which prompted me to say that. Let me see. Josh Jackson, a.k.a. Ray Allen. He hit 5 for 10 from 3 today. Okay, so here's the note. The Lakers are good, and I think they are by far and away the best, the team that's going to win the championship this year. So I don't know why people keep, especially Lakers fans, are like, why aren't you talking about the Lakers? There isn't much to say. They're really good. Do you want me to, for the most part, when I'm talking about a team, I'm pointing out the things that are not great about them or talking about the potential of things that could happen. The Lakers are good. They're going to continue to be good, and I expect them to win the 2021 championship. I don't have much else to say besides for that. I talked about a game that was Lakers versus Hawks, I think, and they were like, why'd you only talk about the Hawks? Because the Hawks are the team that needs to be talked about. The Lakers are fine. I don't understand that shit. Also, whatever. Never mind. Lakers fans are fucking annoying. Kyle Kuzma has been a lot better, so there's some more Lakers talk here. His defensive effort and overall effort has seemed pretty good in comparison. He's also seemed less bad shot like frequent, or less likely to take those shots. That sentence did not sound right. He's just been playing better. He's been more of the guy who does the little things, when Kuzma was the opposite of the guy who did the little things in the past. So shout out to Kyle Kuzma. He's also hitting his threes more this year, at least last time I checked. So to close this game, it was double overtime. LeBron hit two fuck you threes in the face of Mason Plumlee. One of them was after Mason Plumlee short-armed a shot. But that was some disrespectful shit, and I fucking love it. And I mean, I love it when LeBron is just being downright disrespectful. Like, it's almost like you can, when LeBron, if you saw those two threes, it's like you could tell inside LeBron's head he was like, let's stop messing around here. I'm LeBron James. What are you gonna do about it? You're not gonna do anything about it. Yeah, I'm gonna make both of these threes. It's a step back, kind of like just one dribble leaning back. LeBron's jump shot is like always leaning back, like it's a fadeaway, even though that's what his normal form looks like. LeBron's shot is maybe one of the most unique jump shots ever. But either way, he dropped both of them in Mason Plumlee's face in back-to-back possessions. Just so fucking disrespectful. And he stared him down for like 10 seconds on each one as well. But for the most part, my takeaway from this game is Josh Jackson. Also, I was going to talk about Anthony Davis a little bit, because there were parts of this game where he looked rough because he's had kind of a rough season. But then he kind of turned it around. So not much to say for them, for him at least right now. Also, I just wanted to point out that the chat, because I was watching on a stream site, they were calling them Mickey Mouse threes when he made them. I just thought that was funny. So every other game that I watched every game that I watched today, I wasn't paying as much attention as I probably should be to really heavily analyze. So I'm just going to kind of go over my notes quickly here. A lot of these games I only watched a half or even a quarter of. So Rockets versus Spurs, no Christian Wood here. I only watched the second half. Keldon Johnson is great, amazing energy. I said when I made my video on the Spurs that I thought one of these young guys is going to break out, and Keldon seems to be the one who's doing that. DeRozan does not miss from mid-range. That one speaks for itself. Still waiting on Derek White to break out. That's something that we've been waiting on for 3 years now, as he always showed flashes, and still seems like Greg's not fully trusting him. Also, speaking of Greg, I wrote, and I might tweet this because I think it's funny, Greg Popovich with his long hair and then wearing the mask. He looks like that dude, the villain from Mad Max. Jesus Christ. But that's all I really had to say for this game in total. I'm pretty sure the Spurs won. This shows how much I was paying attention. I'm pretty fucking sure the Spurs won. Without Christian Wood, the Rockets, this is a team that has a lot of guys, just like they have so many options they can go to, but it just, because there's no clear-cut guy when Christian Wood's not there, it makes it a little difficult. Minnesota versus OKC, I literally only watched half of the fourth quarter of this one, and I kind of wish I didn't because it was lame. The fact that Minnesota didn't have Cat, I don't even know if they had D'Lo. I don't think they did. Yeah, they didn't have D'Lo either. So the Timberwolves, without those two, their lineup was Ricky Rubio, Anthony Edwards. Nas Reed was in there, and then like Jaden McDaniels, I think that's the guy's name, and it's somebody else. I think it might have been Jake Layman. Like, that's your closing lineup. That was bad. And the Thunder, at least at the end of that quarter, they didn't have Al Horford. I just wrote down Theo Maledon because I've seen a bunch of Thunder fans trying to get people to talk about him. He hit a 3 in this fourth quarter. I didn't. I just wrote Theo Maledon. That's all I have to say about him right now because I don't know enough. Anthony Edwards, he seems to think that he is that guy, like rather clearly based on his shot selection, the way he plays. It's not like he has this like deficit of understanding of what is a good shot and what is a bad shot. It seems very clear to me that he just thinks he's that guy and he can make the shot regardless. And sometimes it works and sometimes he is. It's just the question really with Anthony Edwards is not going to be confidence because he has the confidence. It's really going to be, is he actually who he thinks he is? Because if he is, he's going to be a damn good player. If he's not, he's going to be a damn bad player. We're going to have to wait and see. Thus far, his career has been one good game, one bad game, keeping going back and forth. So OKC won this game. I'm pretty sure. Again, more example of how much I was paying attention. I'm actually checking right now just to be sure. The Spurs won that game and OKC won that game. It was close. Naz Reid took a hook shot to close this one out and it hit back rim, which was unfortunate, so it didn't go into overtime. Warriors versus Mavericks. Only watched the fourth quarter of this game, which is tragic because Steph nearly had 60. He played all of the third quarter, apparently, from what people on Twitter were telling me. I posted, why is Steph only playing the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter? Apparently, that is how the Warriors' rotation has been, but I feel like I'd rather him play 6 minutes of the third and then the full fourth quarter rather than the full third and 6 minutes of the fourth. I feel like you should switch those around, and apparently that's how the Warriors are normally doing it. I was critical of Steve Kerr in the tweet about it, but I was like, maybe I don't know. I feel like the Warriors aren't really realizing the fact that Steph needs to just carry. That's just the fact of the matter. And hell, Steph tried in this game, but it seems like Steve is running this team like it's what it used to be when it's not what it used to be. Luka makes his jump shots in the clutch, regardless of what do you want to say about his jumpers in general. I notice, when I'm tuning into games with the Mavericks, Luka seems to be just fine making his jump shots when it comes clutch time. The Warriors made a comeback late, but then Maxi Kleber hit a 3-pointer, which gave it a 4-point lead, and that was the game. Also, shout out Draymond Green. He had 15 assists in this game as well, although I didn't watch most of those assists. Let me see. What other games? So there are 3 more. Damn, I watched a lot of games today, but I guess that's just because I barely watched most of them. Nets versus Sixers, the second half. This wrote, God, Tyler Johnson is ugly. I'm not one to talk, but whatever. I hate, this is a thing that people were also talking about with the Luka today. I really hate when players lean into their defender on a jump shot in this game. Nets versus Sixers, Danny Green jumped into his defender for a 3, and I was like, God, I fucking hate that. If I became the commissioner, it's the first thing I'm doing is making that an offensive foul. Anyways, this game, Landry Shamet, he played well. He was hitting his shots in this game. I don't know what his final stats were, but at least the time I made this note, he was 3 for 7 from 3. He hit a step back mid-range shot, which I think might have been an and one. Ben pushed Tyler Johnson out of the way. I just wrote down little man, but it was Tyler Johnson out of the way for a poster dunk. I wish he would do that more. Whole aggressiveness thing with Ben Simmons. Also, after he did that, there was a technical foul called because he was talking shit to Tyler Johnson. I hate that. Let them talk shit. Literally nobody is offended. Let them talk shit. It's awesome. If they start throwing hands, then yeah, that's an issue. But if they're gonna let Ben Simmons talk shit to fucking Tyler Johnson's ugly ass. Norvel Pell, I don't know if this is his first game playing for the Nets, but it's the first Nets game I've watched where he has played. He's one of their, kind of the solution or something like it towards their center weaknesses. He played this game, and that's all I can really say, because he didn't do anything that stood out to me. I'm not saying he necessarily played bad, but he didn't do anything that I was like, oh yeah, Norvel, he really is clear, the guy for them. Also, this game was kind of a blowout. At least it was for the most part, because the Sixers were just basically, I don't know if you've heard this, but the Nets can't play defense. That's the note that I put. They don't play defense, and the Sixers won as a result. Joel Embiid had a good game at the times I was watching. Bulls versus Magic. I didn't open this video talking about the Bulls because I didn't really pay attention to this game at all because I was recording a podcast during most of it. The Bulls went up by 30. At one point, it ended up being 20-something by the end of it. Zach LaVine was 1 point. What the fuck is wrong with me? 1 point short of 40 with 39, and they subbed him out when he had a chance to, left leg coming, a chance to make it 40, and that's annoying. I wish they would just let him have it. But either way, Kobe played well in the third quarter. I noticed that. The Magic did not have the same offensive rhythm they did the day before. And yet again, I just want to point out that I was right about Denzel Valentine, as he had 20 points today, and he has been good for this entire season for the Bulls. And I was right about him. I've been right about Kobe White. I am a genius. Anyways, that's Bulls versus Magic. Easy win for the Bulls there, which is nice after that rough loss of the Magic. And then the other game that I probably paid the most attention to after Pistons-Lakers was the Kings versus Nuggets. No Jamal Murray in this game, and Jokic, I believe, had 50 points to close this game. That's what the stats were saying anyways. People are saying that on Twitter. I turned on this game at about halfway as well, but I was paying more attention to this one. So Tyrese Halliburton, even though he did hit a pull up to kind of seal this one, I feel like he's going to be more of a step back guy than a pull up shooter as a creator for shooting, if you get what I mean. Like, his mechanics when he pulls up from mid range, his shooting mechanics overall are kind of awkward, but like he obviously makes it work because he's been a very lethal 3-point shooter thus far. He seems more comfortable doing step back jumpers than pull up jumpers. That's just a weird observation. Rashawn Holmes is really good, but I'm questioning how impactful he is as a defensive guy, and I'm actually really curious, and I wish Kings fans could explain this to me further than just Luke Walton sucks. I don't understand how the Kings are literally the worst defense in the league. Like, their starting lineup, it has Marvin Bagley and Buddy Hield in it, and both of those are poor defenders. But De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, Harrison Barnes, Rashawn Holmes. That's did I say Harrison? Yeah, I said Harrison Barnes already. That's good defenders. Like, Rashawn Holmes is solid. Harrison Barnes is, I'd say, a little bit above solid, like pretty good. Tyrese Halliburton is a great defender. De'Aaron Fox is a good to great defender. Depends how much he's trying. And this is the worst defensive team in the league. I haven't watched enough Kings games to really point anything strongly. I feel like like Kings fans I asked on Twitter, they were telling me it's Luke Walton. And look, I know Luke Walton sucks, but I don't know that that Luke, you can just blame Luke Walton. Maybe he's not motivating them enough, but like, I didn't notice some clear-cut scheme that was just completely fucking the Kings over. So I mean, Luke Walton still sucks. He's the worst coach in the league and he should be fired. But I don't know, and there's probably a reason that it's his fault, and I just haven't noticed it, but Kings fans did not explain that well enough to me. RJ Hampton got some run in this game. He looked solid. He made a couple of shots, grabbed some rebounds. Every time Tyrese Halliburton shoots a three, I assume it is going in. That speaks for itself. Speaking of threes going in, De'Aaron Fox's threes are going in this year. I checked on Basketball Reference. It was like 35% of 5 attempts, which is not amazing, but it's good. And especially considering De'Aaron Fox being a bad shooter to start his career, that's definitely nice to see. By the way, I am probably going to be doing a Kings My NBA series after my Sixers series, so look out for that. I'm very excited ever since this team got Tyrese Halliburton and he showed himself to be as good as he is. I'm like, that seems like it'd be a fun series. Rashawn Holmes has a really good floater. He hit like 5 of them in this game from like 10 feet from the basket. And then, as I said, Halliburton hits a pull-up three-pointer to close this game. So that's my thoughts on all the games today. Basically, Josh Jackson is Michael Jordan reincarnated. Bye.